What's up guys, my name is Stoody and I'd like to welcome you all back to another video. In today's video, I am going to be doing episode 5 of Stoody Say. Now, a topic's come up over the last few days, basically where people have been saying, should there be a wildcard round in the AFL? Andrew Dillon apparently has decided that he wants one and he could add one in as early as next year. Now, here's my thoughts on the wildcard round. I think for AFL, it's a pretty decent idea. You know how in the NBA they have, the play-ins? I think that's really stupid. But I'll tell you why it will probably work in the AFL, but it's terrible in NBA, right? I hate it in NBA. So basically, in the NBA, there's 15 teams in each conference. And the top 8 go into the playoffs. The way I see it, you shouldn't have more than half the teams making the playoffs/finals or whatever, like it is in NBA, but 7 teams won't work, neither will 6 really. So it's got to be 8, so it's fair enough, but really the NBA need to add 2 more teams into the league to make it perfect. But the thing is, the NBA decided to make it 10 teams in the playoff all of a sudden. That's way too many. That means 20 of the 30 teams make the playoffs, which is just stupid. It's really stupid. But in the AFL, right, there's 18 teams currently. 8 of them make the finals, which means that 10 miss out. Which means that sometimes you have a pretty good team that might just finish 9th or 10th, who could definitely beat some teams up in the top 8, have some competitive games, but they just can't quite get there because even though they're better than half the competition. So when it comes to AFL, I think when there's still 18 teams in it, I think I prefer there not to be a wildcard round while there's 18 teams. But when Tassie come in and when there's a 20th team, whatever that might be, I think the wildcard round should be implemented for sure. When there's 20 teams in the competition, I think it'd be pretty unfair to finish 9th or 10th and not make the 8. The way I see it, I think there'll be not enough teams making the finals with 20 teams in the league, or even 19, which there should never be an odd amount of teams in a league because then you've got buys every week and that's just crap. You don't want that. I won't be doing Supercoach if there's ever 19 teams in the league. So remove the bye before the finals and replace it with a wildcard round. It should just be as simple as 7th versus 10th and 8th versus 9th. They play, and I guess the 7th and 8th place teams have the home ground advantage, and whoever wins those games, so out of 7th versus 10th, I think the winner of that game should verse whoever finishes 6th on the ladder, and the winner of 8th versus 9th should go ahead and verse whoever finishes 5th on the ladder in the next week of finals, the elimination finals or whatever. With there being 23 games in the season now, let's just say if a team finishes 13 and 10 and somehow only finishes 9th, it's pretty unfair, I feel, if you win 13 games or even 12 and 11. If you win more games than you lose, I think you deserve a spot in the finals. So it gives those sort of teams the opportunity to play in finals, and you never know, some teams might underperform throughout the season because of injuries maybe earlier in the season. And then when it comes to the last few rounds, they're all of a sudden back at their best. And, at their best, they're like a top 4 caliber sort of team. Then there's a better chance that the actual best teams that might not perform throughout the season but are actually best overall or whatever can actually still do well in September. And let's just say if there's a season where maybe the top 6 are like completely dominant over everyone else, it's one way to make sure we don't have any fluky elimination final exits or whatever. Well, it'll make it a bit harder because 7th and 8th won't get a bye. They actually have to win 5 finals games to be able to win the grand final. So it should also reward the really good teams as well, because they don't have to play 5 games like the other ones. Say if 10th upsets 7th or something in the first round, then it should be definitely more difficult for them to advance through the finals. Look, even if Andrew Dillon brings it in while there's still 18 teams in the competition, I won't mind it. Gillon McLachlan has made so many terrible decisions with rules but Andrew Dillon is actually thought of something decent here. A year such as this year where there's so many, teams that could definitely do well in September, look at even 5th to 15th is, well, you think Fremantle and Sydney are almost out of it, but 13th and up are certainly a good chance to make finals and have been beating some decent teams. You've got teams like Richmond and Carlton who are clearly a lot better than their ladder position right now. So a year like this would be really good. But I remember 2021, a year like that might not be as good because of how bad teams, say, under 6th were. And last year, a team like Carlton missing out, they would have had another chance with this wildcard round. They definitely would have had a chance to beat the Bulldogs in 2022. But anyway, that's Stoody's say on the topic. I think the wildcard round will be a good idea, especially for when there's 19 or 20 teams in the competition. For 18 teams, I think it's fine to just leave it the way it is. No wildcard round for now. Because I think the current top 8 system is fine. But if they do decide to bring it in while there's still 18 teams in the competition, some years it'll work pretty well. Some years it won't work so well. It just depends on the quality of teams in the competition for each year. It's different every year. But anyway, give your opinion in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment while we comment like this. Be sure to subscribe to my premium member, Let's Chat with Nick. Link to his channel is in the description. Also be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also be sure to join my Discord server. It is called Australian Sports Community. Link to that is also in the description. Also be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel. It is called Stoody Archives. Link to that is also in the description. Also be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, and I also have TikTok. The username for all of those is StoodyYT, and links to all of those will also be in the description. I hope you've had a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.